Once upon a time, I was not good at English. We all have the ability to be exceptional at something. So there's this pressure of following a specific timeline. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, and if you've guessed by the title, you already know what's up. Today, we're getting ready to go to my friend's wedding. So this will be the first time I'm going to try to do makeup and talk at the same time, so we'll see how it goes. I've already picked out an outfit for today, which is actually a black dress that I sewed myself. And we're going to pair it with a very minimal makeup look. We're going to do my makeup here on my ironing board. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, with this dress change, I can now clip my mic here. So the background story is that when I was in high school, we had a group of 9 friends that hung out together, and today is the day where the first of the 9 is getting married. And I have a feeling that once the first one goes, the others will follow in suit. So what came to mind for me was that a lot of times as young people, we feel, I guess, a pressure to follow a specific timeline, whether that be to have an established career or get married or have kids, buy a house, yada yada. And I had a conversation with my mom the other day, and this would be more related to a career than about marriage. And the interesting thing that came up was that a lot of adults in my life, career-wise, didn't quote unquote make it until they were well into their 40s. And I guess by the age where I was able to comprehend what is a job, what is a career, they were well into their 40s, their 50s. So all I've ever known of them is having had that established career. So we're gonna start off with this herbal eyeliner. Kajal Eye Definer. This is from India. It's supposedly good for your eyelashes and for your eyebrows, and you don't really have to remove it after you've put it on. Anyhow, they didn't have an established career well into their 40s, which made me wonder, like, why is there such a pressure to have an established career at this point in our lives? But what I'm more curious about is where this sentiment came from. Because I guess if we look around us, a lot of people find their way in the world at varying stages of their lives. So I'm curious if this type of pressure at this certain age is specific to this era of the internet, or if it's the same as well in different generations. So I have a question: if we have any viewers of other generations, did you guys feel this type of pressure to have like an established career or like marriage in your 20s? Or was it less so? I know for a fact that because we do have access to the internet right now, you know what everyone is up to, and there are a lot of people who look like they know what they're doing. So I suppose on the one hand, that might make us feel like we're not doing enough. But on the other hand, if you kind of flip the perspective on the same narrative, we would also see that it's kind of cool actually that we're able to sit in the comfort of our own homes and still be able to witness what other people are doing around the world and how they found their place or the way that they'd like to contribute to this existence, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, most of the time my daily makeup will stop here. I essentially just use this liner to line my eyes, and the residual liner will go onto my eyebrows, and that's about it. But today, because we're going to a wedding, we're gonna add some more eyeshadow and things like that. I think looking back at it, the trap that I fell into actually is that career-wise, job-wise, I confined myself to the skill sets that I had already developed, namely science and languages, specifically English. And I felt like my career needed to be in those fields because I was already, to an extent, trained in those areas. And the only way to go forwards was to keep on developing those areas. But it was only recently that I realized that once upon a time, I was not good at English. I was not good at science at all. And it's only because I've had multiple years of training, of usage of these particular skills that have made it developed into the way it is now. I have this palette from Etude House. I don't have makeup brushes either, so I'm just gonna use 4 clean fingers, so 4 brushes. I'm gonna go in first with this pale color to highlight my eyebrows. I remember very vividly when I was 5 years old and my family had just moved to Australia, and I knew absolutely zero English. I went to ESL school, had no idea what the teachers were saying to me. So I went home and my mom told me that I can say the sentence, "I don't understand." And I repeated those sounds in that sequence, "I don't understand," back to my teachers. I remember very well the time where I did not know how to speak English. And so the bottom line is, I have the ability to learn. And we all have the ability to learn. We all have the ability to excel at something given enough time and love for it and practice and focus. Because the thing is, I've been teaching English for about 4 years now, and I feel like that period is kind of like coming to its natural close. And at the beginning, I was quite nervous about like, what the heck am I going to do now? Like, I've chosen to stop pursuing science. And now if I stop using English as my career, then what am I left with? Because those are the two things I'm good at. So if I ask you right now, what is something you're good at? There's probably one or a couple things that pop into your mind. Maybe you're good at IT. Maybe you're good at sports. Maybe you're really good at being a mom or a grandparent. Or you're really good at like making friends and making people feel comfortable. But probably at one stage in your life, you weren't that good at that. That's just excluding the people who can like play music from inside the womb. But I'm talking about like the majority of us. We probably have the skills we have now because at some point we had a genuine interest in it. We had focus, and so we spent a lot of time practicing it, honing it. So the bottom line is we all have that ability to learn. So if we take that and apply it to a new skill, we can also get good at it if you take like the time frame limit out of the picture. I'm gonna go with this nudie color all over my lid. When I realized that I didn't have to confine myself, and again, this confinement is something I've put upon myself. It's not like anyone told me that I had to be like that. But anyways, now that I realized I didn't have to confine myself to what I was already decent at, it has given me a lot more freedom and courage to try new things and make mistakes and learn from them without being scared that I have to meet a deadline or something. We're gonna do a little darker color on the outside. While my finger's already in the darker color, I'm going to use that same color to contour my nose. And if at some point you realize that you want to develop this new skill, it's better to start it sooner than later, right? But if you're saying, "Emma, it's already too late," and to that I say, better late than never. I also do understand that to be able to actually pursue that new interest is also a privilege, because I know that there are people who have other responsibilities, that have other constraints, in which case making the commitment to something new might be a little bit harder or might take more time. So back to the adults I was talking about earlier, the ones in their 40s that made it, and this is only in terms of like having made a name for themselves. But of course, whether or not you're successful also depends on like the values that you choose. Health, good relationships, good friendships. Maybe it's like being in touch with your spirituality, being able to help others and finding joy in that. As of recently, I've felt much less pressure in terms of like achieving conventional success. And I think what I'm more focused on now is having good health and living in a way where my way of existence is of positive impact to me and also positive impact to others, and hopefully would also inspire others to be the version of themselves that they want to be. Okay, what are we missing here? I think I want like a brighter inner eye, maybe some glitter. We're gonna go for this gold. Ooh, it's very glittery. I had signed up for a masterclass back in December when I was feeling like a little more lost, and the first masterclass that I watched was an architect by the name of Frank Gehry. He's a Canadian-American architect. He's about 96 now, I believe, and he's still practicing out of LA. And notable works are the Walt Disney Concert Hall in LA and also the Laughing House. I think that's what it's called, the Laughing House in Prague, Czech Republic. And when he was like 18, 19, he was a truck driver in California, and he was attending night school at a local college in which he signed up for a ceramics class. After some lessons, and the professor was like, "Son, you're no good with ceramics, but I bet you'd be good with architecture." So he had Mr. Frank Gehry sign himself up for an architecture class. His ceramics teacher probably paid for his tuition as well. He himself did not have the money at the time to pay for architecture school. He was probably in like his late teens, early 20s then, and he's 96 now, I think. So he's had a very long and fulfilling 70-year career so far. And if we had looked at the time frame up until the ceramics class, it will have looked as if he had made a wrong decision to enroll himself in that class. But it was through that class that his teacher redirected him to where he needed to be, which is in architecture. So I thought that was fascinating. And I was also recently watching this interview between Stephen Bartlett and Wim Hof. And Mr. Wim Hof said that the characteristic of purpose is to not be in conflict with your soul. It is also to be happy, strong, and healthy, which I agree completely with. I'm gonna go some shadow on my under eye. Okay. I'm gonna go in with some lipstick from a local brand called GRWM Lab, and they make a lot of more natural makeup and skincare products, and they have this line of lip balms and lipstick that are PB free, lead free, and this is in the color 203. It's a glow natural lip balm. I'm not the biggest fan of lipstick. I like the color, but I'm really not a fan of the way it feels on my lips, so I usually stick to a lip balm. I have some spots here, but I'm gonna leave it out to chill. Rather just let it breathe, these spots. And I'm going to skip the blush as well, because once I'm at the event, I'm a little bit more excited. There's probably gonna be some alcohol going around. My face will blush up on itself, so there's no need for other blush, I suppose. But yeah, I guess my whole point is that let's not confine ourselves to a timeline. Let's just have an open timeline where we have more freedom to explore what we're interested in and take our time delving into it, focusing into it, and giving it the amount of time that it needs for anything good to become fruitful. And if you try something and it's run its course, it's okay to switch again. But yeah, that has essentially been a train of thought that has liberated me a lot recently. We all have the ability to learn. We all have the ability to be exceptional at something, be a good friend, being a good cook, being good with like mechanics and hands and spatial intelligence, whatever it may be, you can get good at it if that is something that you're really interested in and you feel like that's where you want to be. Time for accessories. We're gonna go with a pair of dangly earrings. 这是我台湾的姐姐给我的耳环。姐姐，如果你正看这个视频，谢谢姐姐，我很喜欢这个耳环。Ooh, that is very bright. Now to this. I believe the last time I put on falsies was a solid 10 years ago. I was taking a makeup class to prepare for going to college abroad, and that was the first and last time I ever put on falsies, so 2016. I haven't used these type of lashes before, so this is a first for you and me both. Why am I doing this on camera? Beginning of the eye, the middle of the eye, the end of the eye. I've watched the tutorial. Let's see if I can actually pull it off now. How many do I need? Is my eye big or small? I don't even know. The reason I don't really wear lashes a lot is because I feel like it impedes my vision. What time is it? Okay, I still have time. My friend's gonna come pick me up in a little bit. Ow. Ugh. Ow. Oh, that's my lash. Okay, so for accessories, we're gonna go with this white bag. This is also a gift from my Taiwanese friend. We're just gonna put my lipstick in just in case I need a retouch. This in case I need a mirror, my phone, and my wallet, and that's about it. For shoes, we're gonna go with this pair. And this is actually a very easy choice because I have exactly one pair of heels and it goes with just about everything. This is actually made from tiệm đóng giày của May, which is a local brand here in Vietnam. And this is a pair of custom shoes because my feet are too big for places that sell women's shoes here in Vietnam. So this is gonna pair with this. I'm thinking I might pin this brooch, what you call this? This side or this side? Like this, and maybe a scarf. This is a silk scarf that I got when I was in China with my mom last August. This is choice number 2. Probably drape it around something like this. I think number 2 is a little more subtle, but we can go with neither. We can go like this. I will tell you later which one I decide to go with. I also wanted to show you these two. These two crochet dachshund. I'm friends with the groom, so this is going to be a handmade gift to the bride and groom. Look how cute. So we're gonna pop them right in this gift bag. They look like little anteaters. This is the look. And if you're wondering, Emma, what is that? Well, I'm so glad you asked because this is my spirit animal and in its favorite form, it's climbing some monkey bars out there somewhere. Anyhow, that is all for this video. I know it's a little bit different and I hope you had some fun. These two little guys are coming along. If I get any footage of tonight, I'll have it after this section. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Không tập trung nghe lại còn và rồi từ lúc nhỏ đến nay Hòa đã trở thành một phần không thể thiếu trong cuộc đời của đối phương. Chờ một ai đó đến bên anh, lắng nghe những tâm tư này là tiếng nắng lá. Lòng em mong mong nguyện ước cho dù năm tháng phai nhòa tình ta vẫn sẽ vượt qua sóng gió cuộc đời, mãi mãi ta là của nhau.
Ôi dồi, cái gì cơ?
Này muốn chết à?
What are you talking about?